Good morning. Today is Monday, September 18, 2017. This is our recorded meeting for GoToMeeting that is scheduled for today. This is Monday of week 4. We don't have a live meeting, so this is basically a pre-recorded video for today's lesson. I do encourage you to listen to the video in its entirety because I will be talking briefly about your final project and the expectations for the project, okay? The first thing I want to do is start with what happens today. So we're on week 4. I have completed all of the grades for week 3. So where your grade stands now is currently where you're at going into week 4. We do have several assignments that are lined up for this week. And we also have the final exam and the final project. I'm encouraging you that wherever you are now with your grade, you have an opportunity to improve it. However, I must let you know that in order for that improvement to take place, you cannot afford not to submit an assignment. Basically, everything that has been scheduled for this week, I'm encouraging you to make sure you get all of those assignments completed. For today, day 13, you have an activity to do. You have a daily assignment to do. So when you click on day 13 in the portal, it will tell you everything that you have scheduled for today. So you have a day 13 activity. It is an activity that is on long-term care facilities. So basically, you will go to a particular website that I have designated for you to go to, and you're going to answer those questions from that particular website. That assignment is due tonight by 11:59 p.m. You also have a brand new discussion number 7. It is set up for you to post your initial post today, and then I'll do my best to make sure I chime in with you so that you can respond to my post and also respond to your classmates. Of course, we have our GoToMeeting scheduled for today, but this is going to be a pre-recorded session, so there is no live meeting. I'm just basically asking you to listen to this video currently through its entirety. Journal, same thing as always. It'll be due on Tuesday night. Homework for this week is chapters 16, 17, and 18. All of the homework for this week is open and available. Please note, all homework assignments are due Wednesday night. Because we're on week 4, you do not have through the weekend to get your homework in. Class in, the last day of class for the online class this month, or for this particular class, is on Thursday. And on Thursday, you'll basically be doing one last assignment. I believe a response post to a threaded discussion, and you'll be taking a final exam. But there will be no homework assignments that will be allowed to be turned in on Thursday. Again, all homework assignments have to be done on Wednesday by 11:59 p.m. That includes chapters 16, 17, and 18. I have already opened them and made them available. On tonight, you have a link in the portal on the left-hand side that says Final Project Prep Instructions. When you click on that link, it's going to tell you that in preparation or in preparing for the final project, read the following suggestions. So what I am suggesting to you before you begin your final project is to review organizational charts and become familiar with how they're designed and structured. So basically, you can kind of go on Google, look at some images of what some org charts look like. I'm also asking you to go out there and review what scheduling looks like for a facility. So like say for instance, if you have 10 employees under you, go out there and see what a typical schedule will look like for a day as to how they have things scheduled out. Take note of how they schedule lunches and breaks. Again, you can look on Google for this. You can also go out there and take a look on Google of flyers, whether it's an open house or health fair or something, and just kind of look at some of the different designs and everything. I just have you doing that in preparation for your final project. Now, I have narrowed down the final project over the last couple of classes because you all are online most of the time. Normally, this class is taught on ground, or at least 2 days on ground. And because of that, I have the students do the final project in class. So by them doing it in class, we kind of work on it at least a week or so in advance, because I have students designing different things, and it makes it a lot easier, because that way if you have questions and stuff, especially when it comes to the flyers and things of that nature, I'm there to better assist you. It's a little difficult with you being strictly online, so for that reason I really cut and narrowed down the expectations. Well, not necessarily the expectation, but the requirement as far as what type of document I wanted. I have trimmed that a lot, and I've tried to make it feasible where the things I am asking you for are pretty simple. Excuse me, pretty simple, easy for you to manage. So with that being said, the final project is due tomorrow, Tuesday, September the 19th. I've gone ahead and opened up the material for the final project so that if you want to get started on it tonight, or if you want to take a look at it tonight, you can do so. It's all in Doc Sharing. When you click on day 14 under the left side of the portal, it will tell you that all students are required to complete the final project. If you choose not to complete the final project, you forfeit 100 points. That's a lot of points. Okay, so be really careful with that. When you click on the link that says day 14 final project, it tells you in red there are 2 documents. The reason I stress that is because a lot of times students will go out there and just see the one document that says final project, and it may say September 2017, but then they never open up their action item document. So you have 2 documents out there, and let me talk briefly about each one of them so I can tell you what you can expect for your project. When you go into Doc Sharing, of course, you're going to see your activity for the day, day 13. It'll say LTC, long-term care. But then above that, you should see 2 additional documents. One of them says action items, and one of them says HCA 3300, final project for September. You're going to open both of those documents. You must open both of them in order to be able to complete the assignment correctly. So let's talk about the one that says HCA 33 final project September. When you open it up in red, it tells you at the top, it's due September the 19th, 11:59. Now, you can turn it in on Wednesday if you're not completed with it, but there will be a late penalty of 10% applied. I put the objectives and the outcomes out there, but you can read that on your own. Let me get to the instructions. Each student is to choose a healthcare facility from the list below. So that means what you're going to be designing for me is either a nursing home that you're managing over, an assisted living, general medicine, or urgent care facility. You choose the type of facility you want to be managing, okay? Everything that you give me are fake. You come up with your own name of your facility. You come up with your own names for your employees. So you can have as many employees as you want. If you want to run your facility, you only got 5 employees. As long as you know you got your building covered from front to back, then so be it. Maybe you can operate like that. But, I don't want you to think too deep off into this. I don't. But I want you to be realistic. Now, if you plan on being an urgent care center and you're going to be taking walk-ins and appointments, then I'm not so sure if I will want to operate my facility with just 5 people, depending on how my workload can be. And when you're taking walk-ins, that can increase your workload, okay? You can control it better when you have appointment only. But if you're going to be an urgent care facility, you're probably going to have to consider opening yourself up to take some walk-ins. And again, that's going to increase your amount of people coming into the facility. That's going to increase your workload. 5 people may not do it for you. You might have to have 10. But however you decide to do it, that's totally up to you. This is basically all I want. Basically, what I'm giving you is some action item things to do. As a manager, you're going to have to do. So as a manager, you already know you're going to be in charge of hiring, firing, training, making schedules for the staff, keeping up with your own schedule. You're going to have a lot you got to do. So I'm just trying to help you get your feet wet a little bit. So I have on this sheet a list of possible assignments you may have to do. Budget plans, org chart, schedule staff, termination letter, letters of apology, so on and so on and so forth. Okay? However, when you open up the document that says action items, that's where you'll actually see exactly what it is you got to do. Okay? So, number one, on the action item document, which is the second document, second attachment, you've got to do an org chart. You construct an organizational chart that includes your immediate staff at the facility. Make sure it's neat. What does that mean? That means that you've already, like tonight, you should have already, in preparation for your final project tomorrow, started looking at org charts. You already know you're the manager. Your name should be at the top. So basically, you're showing me in an org chart who reports to who, who's your immediate report, and then who's their immediate report. How do you design that? That is strictly based on the type of people and the number of people you have working inside of your facility. Okay? So I need an org chart. Number two, I need a schedule for your staff that's at least 2 weeks. And this is for the month of October. So basically, you go out there on Google, you find you an October schedule, you get one that you know, like a Word document type, that you know you can type in. I need to see 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks in October on a schedule, I need to see where you have your staff scheduled as far as their work, any PTO days that they're taking off, their scheduled breaks, and I must also see at least one staff meeting that you have scheduled within that 2 weeks with at least 2 different times offered for employees to attend. Every employee can't come on a Wednesday for a meeting, so why not have 2 separate meetings? Make it mandatory, but again, fix your schedule where if you got a group that's in a meeting, you have someone else that's able to cover. So I need to see that on your schedule. Okay? When it comes to lunch, you may want to consider a lunchtime for the entire facility. You may want to consider that. If that's your consideration, I need to see that on your schedule. But I need an October schedule, the first 2 weeks scheduled out with your staff. So that means your fake names, everything. Whoever's going to be on PTO, and all of this stuff, you just make it up. Okay? Now, the next thing I need to see is a manager's schedule. That's your schedule. Same thing. For October, I need you to schedule yourself for the entire month of October. And this is what I want to see in there. I need to see where you've got some meetings on there. I need to see on that calendar vacations you're taking, whether it's a week or a day here and there. I need to see where you've got yourself scheduled on a day for at least 1 or 2 out-of-town conferences. And I also need to see on that schedule within the month of October at least 2 days where you're in the office all day and you have a clear schedule. So if your office is open if your clinic is open from 8 to 5, and let's say you normally get there around 8:30 and you work to 5, at least 2 days in October, I need to see where you have yourself on the schedule for 2 days in October where you in your office from 8 to 5. Because if you're consistently out of your office and you're consistently not in place where people can reach you, you really don't know what's going on in your facility. How do you take care of patient complaints and everything when you're not in the office to help serve those customers? So I need to see a manager's schedule. So I'm going to have 2 schedules. You're going to do an org chart, a 2-week schedule for staff, a 1-month schedule for yourself as a manager. Then I need you, lastly, to construct a PowerPoint that highlights details about your facility. And I tell you specifically what I want. This is all under number 4. The presentation needs to showcase your facility and staff along with the services you provide. It should be no more than 5 to 6 slides. So basically on the first slide, the name of the facility that you have, put some pictures out there, just some fake pictures. Your next slide ought to be highlighting what's your mission and vision for your facility. Your facility motto, you need to have one of those. It should be an eye catcher. And then basically you just kind of put some fake pictures of staff members and physicians out there. You can put some fake names or however you want to do it. And then there should be a slide that lists all of the services your facility provides. Then you should also have a slide that has contact information. You may want to have an after hours line. Nothing wrong with that. If you want to have an after hours line, put it on there. If you want people to know what your fax number is, put that on there. You know you want the office number to be on there. And then you want people to know that you're on social media. So put your little icons out there, pictures of your little icon. Let them know you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram. Highlight the presentation, the PowerPoint should highlight your facility. Everything is fake, but put it out there so that I can see it. Okay, what if this PowerPoint was loaded onto a website and I need to get in contact with you all? And I'm going to your website, but I don't see no contact information. I don't even see an after hours line. I need to fax. I don't even see a fax number. Highlight your facility. That's all you do at number 4. And then, of course, below that is your rubric. Pay attention to your rubric. The project is 100 points. Everything is categorized. So make sure you read over that really well, okay? So that's pretty much what you're doing for your final project. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'll try to respond to you as soon as I can. I'm not in a place where I can just answer text readily, but I will try as much as I can. I'll try to answer whatever questions you have. But basically, the project is self-explanatory. I've made it as simple. If you just read it step by step, line by line, you should be fine. Okay? So that's it as far as what you got to do for a project. Basically, again, I have your homework out there. The project material is open. You're welcome to go ahead and start on it. It's due tomorrow by 11:59. If you don't turn it in tomorrow, you can turn it in on Wednesday, but there is going to be a late penalty applied, okay? This basically concludes our meeting. One last thing that I want to say is that the final exam will be Thursday of this week. You will have some additional things you'll be doing also on Thursday. You have some things that you'll be doing on Wednesday as well. But tomorrow, the focus is the final project. That is your daily assignment. That is what I'll be looking for on tomorrow, is that final project. That way, I've kind of cleared your schedule, cleared your space where you could allow that time to only focus on that project. You can complete that project tomorrow, but you're going to have to dedicate at least a couple of hours to it. At least 2.5, 3 hours. You need to dedicate that to that project, and then you can go ahead and finish it tomorrow, okay? So that is our meeting for today. Make sure that you get your journal in as it's supposed to be. Okay, and you have until tomorrow night to turn your journal in. You all have a wonderful day. Thank you so very much.